What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another Hasbro Star Wars Vintage Collection. And before I dig in any further, I want to say thank you to Tim over at Boss Bounty for having me on his live stream on Saturday night. I got to meet Lewis and Tyler from at SWTVC. Great guys. Finally got to meet them. Matt over at Universal Collector, who I know, and we've been trying to get together for a live stream of our own. For a Friday night on his channel, so hopefully we can make that happen. Friday nights are just tough for me, but we got to talk about all kinds of good stuff. We talked about the Hasbro's move away from plastic for the blisters on Vintage Collection and how it could affect the line if they decide to do it. Certainly the warning signs are there, and we talked about the repercussions for that for the Vintage Collection line. We also each got to pick 5 figures that would be kind of our dream wave. And we're going to talk more about that in this video as we talk about prices. Very interesting. And I also wanted to give you a kind of a final update on Patreon member Keith Guppy. Keith Guppy has one of the largest collections in the UK for Star Wars figures. And he sent me some final photos, as I've updated in past videos. Some final photos after the new shelving has gone in, and his collection is insane. I'm showing you guys like maybe a third of his whole collection. He sent me a bunch of photos, but I just picked out a few highlights. Here's his Power of the Force 2 line from 1995 to 2000. Just incredible to see all those all together. We've got all kinds of figures. We've got the Saga collection. We've got some Revenge of the Sith. Just insane how many different lines he has all lined up. And Keith did say that he has every single character release for every single line from 1995 to present. So it's just truly amazing to see such an awesome collection. But he put in all these new shelves, and just look at all this stuff. It's incredible. I don't know how he stays married, but he does. But here's the Clone Wars, all the different Clone Wars lines and all the vehicles, as you can see down there. Really amazing. He's even got some of the comic 2-packs over here in this corner. A few more photos here. Just wanted to kind of show you some of the different lines he has. A 30th anniversary Saga, more Saga collection. He's got 5 POA. He's got everything. I wanted to finish off, I mean, he sent me more photos, but I wanted to finish off with this. He's got the graded Costco ATTE All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. Look how big this thing is. This is a graded, UKG graded, Costco exclusive. That's 3 3/4 inch scale, folks. I mean, it's just amazing item. And then he also has the Death Star SDCC Death Star place, or box set that was at SDCC from the Vintage Collection. That too is graded by UKG. So some truly Grail type pieces in addition to all the beautiful modern figures. So Keith, thanks for letting me share these on the channel. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what one of the largest collections looks like and what hoarding looks like, Keith. I'm looking at you, buddy. Let's dig into some Vintage Collection prices and just some really interesting data points here. Darth Sidious. This is what, VC 13, 12. VC 12. This was a punched example, which is, I guess, pretty common for Darth Sidious, but this still sold for $150. A really nice, clean example. Look at that face sculpt on Darth Sidious. This has got the free Boba Fett offer. So just another data point there in case you want that original issue Darth Sidious. We've got a couple of Grievous, General Grievous data points. This was sold by Patreon subscriber, Patreon member, Danny Allen, and he said, hey, I just sold this in case you want to put this on your channel. This was a punched General Grievous VC17. Really nice example of the General Grievous. This is the standard card. And then a foil card also sold at near around the same time. Beautiful foil example. This is the one I'd like to get. This look really clean. Just very, very minor wear to it, but gorgeous, gorgeous figure. I definitely would like to get this one. This is on my short list for TVC 1.0 I'd like to pick up. That one sold for $200. I thought that was a pretty fair price overall, given the condition of that beautiful Ultimate Galactic Hunt foil General Grievous. Another one I'd like to pick up is the Clone Commander Cody. This is one that was on the reissue list. We had to pick it as part of the live stream. We had to pick 2 all new figures. We had to pick 2 using Kit Bash, figures that they could make using Kit Bash, and then 1 reissue. And Clone Commander Cody was one of Tyler's choices. That's a good choice, and that was actually one of my choices as well. But I got to pick last because I did not fit in with the rest of these TVC experts. So Tim made me choose last, and that's okay. But that was Clone Commander Cody. I'm trying to remember now which ones I chose, but I think I chose for my 2 new ones. I picked the Grand Inquisitor and Darth Revan. And then for the kit bashed, I picked, I'm going on memory now, but I know one of them was the Inquisitorius, female Inquisitorius, using Fennec Shawn's figure sculpt. And we'll talk more about that when I show a data point for Fennec Shawn. And I can't remember who the other kit bash was. Oh, I know what it was. It was Sabine Wren. So I thought that they could use the Bo-Katan sculpt that was also used for Koska Reeves and use that to make Sabine Wren from the Rebels team. So, obviously Sabine Wren has already been cast as part of the new Ahsoka TV series. So we know we're going to get a Sabine Wren at some point. And I think that's probably what they're going to end up doing is Hasbro will probably use that sculpt, repainted obviously with the bright purples and pinks for Sabine Wren, but that was my choice. And I think my reissue was Starkiller on a Gaming Greats card using the Force Unleashed logo. So that was my 5. I thought it was a pretty good 5, but I came in last place, I think, after some of the others. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. But Jango Fett, this was a VC34. This was a punched example. That's still sold for $142.50. I think that's a pretty fair price. Again, this was my Patreon member Danny Allen's sale, but I think for a punched example, $142.50 is pretty fair. That's a pretty fair market value number. Unpunched, they can go for 200 plus, so I think that's a pretty good number. Next, I want to talk about Princess Leia. Obviously, this is the slave outfit, and this is the multi-language card. This is the Canadian unpunched example. Really beautiful card bag. This is one I would love to have picked up to go with my Canadian run I've got going of really nice Canadian cards. I wanted to bid on this so bad, but I didn't. This sold for 400 Canadian or 314 US dollars. I think that's really a steal, in my opinion. I just think that, given that Canadian cards for the TVC 1.0, they were produced 1 for every 10 US cards, and to get Princess Leia in their slave outfit, this is one of the hottest figures right now in the line, because I think collectors are looking at it saying they're never going to re-release that, just given the environment we're in right now politically. So I think to get that Canadian card for $314 was a great deal. Now, this is one that Tyler mentioned as a reissue, and this is Princess Leia in her Sandstorm outfit, and this one sold for $110. So this one is moving up in price. And I think the logic for reissuing this is that they could put the slave outfit Princess Leia underneath this and still present it in the current environment with this kind of cloak going around her body. And so it would be a lot less quote-unquote offensive to, people who are hypersensitive to, the Me Too movement and things like that. And it would also satisfy people who can't afford the slave Leia. It's just gotten so expensive. So I think what you're going to find is that this Princess Leia Sandstorm outfit, if the slave Leia ever gets re-released, it's going to be this one. And so that was a good choice by Tyler, and I think why he probably won in a landslide is my guess. The competition we had going, the friendly competition we had going as part of the live stream. So, and I think as a corollary to that, we're going to see this figure, this 1.0 version of Princess Leia in the Sandstorm outfit. This card back, especially unpunched, is going to continue to rise in value, is my guess, because this one, the Princess Leia VC64, it's a lot of people are priced out of buying this, a lot of collectors. So I think that as a result, this one's going to continue to go up as well. Next up, we had a VC61 Boba Fett in prototype armor, and this is a lesson to sellers that you need to have better photos. It looked like it had a little bit of wave to the card, but none of the photos were great. This was a very blurry photo, and I think he probably could have gotten even more for this if he could have shown that it was in, really good shape. And I think that the 115 number, given the lack of photos and you're kind of guessing as to condition, that's probably fair. I think that if he had shown really detailed, crisp photos of all the different angles, probably would have gotten closer to 150 to 175, because Boba Fett in that prototype armor continues to go up in price. The Ewok Assault Catapult, this is another, I believe it was a Kmart exclusive. There it is, only at Kmart. This is one that's continued to creeping up a little bit. This one sold for $105. So a little bit of a surprise there. That one is definitely moving up a little bit. Another one that's moving up that I said you should buy before it creeps up any further, and that's the Dr. Aphra STCC 3-pack. Just a few months ago, a beautiful unpunched box like this. I mean, you can see this guy has got case fresh examples, and they're listed for $100 now. So 45 to 50 bucks used to be the going rate. The one I got, I paid $45 for mine. This one's are now selling for $100. So keep that in mind, that this one I think will continue to go up. And I really think that Dr. Aphra is going to be in live action content sooner than you think anyway. And I would go ahead and get this now because, you know, anything convention exclusive for a hot character like Dr. Aphra, I think this one will continue to go up. A couple of Haslab project data points. This is the Haslab Jabbas sail barge, still in the factory shipper, and that one sold for $2,650 plus another $171 shipping. So that number is got to be towards the upper end of the range for that. And this is 100% complete with all the contents. So it's a big, big number. And then the Razor Crest, that one sold for $625. This was also still sealed in the factory shipper. You know, again, you got the potential for damage there. So who knows what the condition of the interior is, but that's still sold for $625 plus another $64 shipping. So close to $700 took that one home. Next up, we got one that was really, really hot, and we talked about in one of my last market updates, and that is the miss card of the Jawa Elder on the Grogu card back. So this was the pack-in for the Razor Crest, and originally the seller had it listed for $1,000 or $9,999. It didn't sell. It got relisted for $999 plus $25 shipping, and there was one bid. So one bid took that one home. And honestly, I think $1,000, just given some of the other data points we've seen for miscards, you know, for a standard issue miscard, you know, that you'd find at retail, standard character combo or something like that, $500 to $700 is kind of the going rate for a nice miscard. So to get the Razor Crest pack-ins, there can't be many of these. I mean, I bet there's less than 5, if not one of one type of situation. And to get it for $1,000, I think that's probably closer to market. And congratulations to whoever took that home. I would love to have bid on it, but I just don't have the funds right now. Speaking of Fennec Shawn, who I mentioned earlier, I really think that they're going to kit bash this figure. They're going to figure out a way to reuse this mold of Fennec Shawn, specifically the arms, and if not the arms, certainly the torso. They could probably rework this with some kind of new paint scheme, new fabric for the skirt, and repurpose that as a female Inquisitorius for the Obi-Wan show. We already know the second sister's coming. We saw Reva. She's another Inquisitorius that's on the hunt for Obi-Wan. I think they're going to reuse this, at least the torso mold, repaint it, put a new skirt on it, and call it a day, and reissue it as part of the Inquisitorius. And I don't even know. I mean, the Inquisitorius may not even have skirts. I don't know. I seem to remember in the Black Series version that she's got a skirt, though. So we'll see if that happens. But anyway, this Book of Boba Fett, Fennec Shawn, fairly new release. Beautiful card back. I can't wait to get mine in. I ordered a bunch of them. This one sold for £24 or $30.81. And then we also have the Republic Trooper Hasbro Direct, Hasbro Pulse exclusive. As we know, they're coming unpunched, which is awesome. And this is the re-release. You can see the back of the card here, a VC-113. That one sold for $22 or 22 pounds, excuse me, or about $28 US. So I definitely want to get one of these. That's a really nice example, and it's cool that it comes unpunched. Couple of graded items. You know, this was a low grade, not low, but lower for a modern item. This is the VC-177 Walmart exclusive Din Djarin with Grogu, and that was only graded 8.0 on the modern scale, which is kind of considered somewhat low, I guess, for a modern item, but that's still sold for $117 plus another $12 shipping. So, you know, that just shows you that, you know, that my premise in one of my videos, I talked about store exclusives. We know the trouble that people have with getting them delivered safely and in good condition. Well, even this one that was only an 8.0 on the modern scale, that one still sold for big money. So just keep that in mind with those store exclusives. They're probably going to continue to go up, just given the lack of clean examples. And this is not a TVC item, but I wanted to show it because it was so unique. This was a Collector Archive Services graded, loose graded, Black Series 3 3/4 inch scale Darth Plagueis. And how cool does he look? That is a great head sculpt on that. It's got all the different weapons all laid out like that. Just a fantastic item. It was graded 90 plus, again, loose graded, and it still sold for $190. $190 for that Black Series 3 3/4 inch Darth Plagueis. And I just wanted to show it because it's so unique and it's already graded, already ready for you. And it's just such a clean presentation. And it's an awesome figure, so I can see why somebody would want that. Anyway, that's all I really had. Just a quick update on some recent sales in the TVC line. Thank you again to Tim for having me on the channel. Be sure to go back and watch the replay. We had a great time. Went on for about a couple hours. I had to leave a little bit early just for some kid duty, but we had just a fantastic time. So make sure to go over to Tim's channel and check that out. Thanks again, and I'll be back soon.